I don't know how many of you knew that dreams can come true. It may take a long time, but they can, and indeed do, come true. The idea, to many people, at least to non-entomologists or lepidopterists, that a moth can make someone's lifetime dream come true seems fanciful and ridiculous. But maybe such dreams are more realistic than a lot of people's dreams. However, before 2023, I still regarded the hopes of catching a Dewick's plusia rather fanciful and ridiculous in Nottinghamshire. There'd been just one record from Broadholme a number of years ago, and that remained the only record for Nottinghamshire until 2023 came along. Then we've been inundated with Dewick's plusias. When I say inundated, there's been at least half a dozen records that I know of, and no doubt many more in the adjacent counties to Nottinghamshire. Who would have thought a few years ago, or ever, that amount of Dewick's plusias would be caught in Nottinghamshire? How many more are roaming around Nottinghamshire than what's caught? Well, the answer to that would be many, many more. Moths that are caught at people's MV lights represent a tiny fraction of those that enter the country. And last night, in heavily overcast, warm and humid conditions with drizzle, one of these turned up at the light in my garden, and in fact I'd switched the light on in the hope of a moth like this, or maybe a delicate, which is another species having an unheard of year in the UK. But after about a quarter of an hour it started to rain, so I packed the light up. But then a quarter of an hour later the rain stopped, and I thought, well, I will put the light out after all. Not much longer than it takes for the light to warm up, I came back outside and there was a moth flying round the light. I thought initially silver wye. I thought rather quite a small silver wye. I netted it because suspicions started to grow. You know something's different instantly with moths at lights. And once I'd potted it up, I could have screamed at the sight of this moth in the pot. A Dewick's plusia has graced the garden, and chances are hadn't arrived in conditions favourable for migration and had probably been locally bred. I don't care to see this moth and get this moth in the garden. I must admit, made me ecstatic. Not a lot does that nowadays. It's my age, you know. And I still marvel at how a number of moths that 20-30 years ago or more were just dreams. They would never occur in an inland county, let alone in bumpy years. But they do, and dreams do come true. All I need now is for a delicate, which is another dream migrant moth, to drop into the light here in the garden. And the nice little bonus to this story is that while she's been in the container overnight, I've now got a load of Dewick's plusia eggs. So some rearing to do, and then maybe in a month or so's time I might be able to show you a handful of these. So if ever you're drudging around from day to day, wearily going about your day, wishing for those dreams to come true, just remember this little story. No matter how large or small your dreams are, they can come true sometimes.